Oh, hey friends, welcome to the vibes.
That was so good. That was so
And anytime we recommend something on the vibes, it's we've done our due diligence to check it out. So we're not gonna recommend something to you that's whack. So
That's whack. Nothing whack. No,
nothing
no
whack,
time for
nothing whack.
whackness.
It's really a vibe for us. So with that being said, I'm gonna shift it over to bro. What you got for us?
Honorable mention, first of all, I know you're gonna bristle. But Justin Timberlake has a very well done tiny desk.
Yeah, yeah,
Yo, it's
I
a
saw it.
we forget how many bops that dude had. And I
I
know there's a
saw it
whole big thing people want to talk trash because of maybe there's some cultural appropriation kind of thing there. And then
a
like
little bit,
he
a
pretty
little bit.
much used up the culture and then like he went back to country. He went to
Mm,
country. He started off with a boy band, which is, originally trying to mimic R&B boy bands,
mm.
like back in the day was,
But
and
we
that's what
also but
NSYNC was.
we also have to kind of like realize that some of these a lot of these artists, man, just like how we give you vibes from all different types of genres. A lot of these artists have influences from a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of cultural appropriation, but like he has a
there's a little
lot
bit
of
of a culture vulture
yeah, a
action
little
that
bit of a
might have
cultural vulture.
happened.
But I mean, but Justin Timberlake, he himself has even said this. Like he's had a lot of influences from various genres, from pop obviously to funk to rock.
Anyway, like I said, honorable mention. I'm not gonna go that deep into it, but go check out if you enjoy a fun time. Yo, he's got so many damn people in his band, right? Was it the
Mm,
Tennessee Kids? He
yeah.
got so many damn people. Like, yo, y'all know y'all going to Tiny Desk, right? It's the Tiny Desk,
Ain't
right?
everybody, ain't everybody that
You
joint.
had to bring everybody and their grandma on that joint,
Yeah.
dog. Like that joint's so packed, but like they
Yeah.
did it. They made it work.
Yep. Yep.
But go check it out. Another Tiny Desk doing their thing over there. Tiny Desk. Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is this TV show for all mankind. I thought I finished this
Bruh,
show. Turns out there's a whole
you've
new
been talking about
season.
this show for a minute. Like you've been talking about the show for a minute, low key. Like,
Yo,
um,
if you like sci-fi, and this thing I wouldn't even call it sci-fi. It's spacey. It's in space, but like I love history,
mhm.
and I love even more like I like not fictional history, but like alternative history.
That's why I was trying to put you up on that Man in the High Castle bit. That joint hit, bro.
Yeah, I heard that. I hear
But for
that.
All Mankind might be a little better. I think it was actually
That's that's
nominated.
what I, that's what I think. For all mankind might be
Mm,
better than
yeah.
that. I don't want to invest my time a lot into some show that might be like meh. That might be
No,
mid.
but it wasn't though. That show is
Man,
good,
I,
bro.
I watched that. I
Yeah.
think I watched probably like the first 3 episodes of that joint. I felt like
Mm.
that bit was mid.
It's I'll be honest, it started off a little slow, but he gets really good, man.
Man, so for all mankind is a space drama.
All Mankind starts slow too. It starts off slow too.
It's yeah, it's off a little slow, but like I think
Mm.
they give you enough nuggets to be like,
All right, let me see
wait a minute,
how
wait a
this is
minute.
gonna unfold.
Like, wait a minute, let me
Yeah.
see what's going to happen with this piece.
Mm-hmm.
The whole premise, and they tell you this is from the jump. The very premise is like, imagine if the Russia had actually won the space race. They were the
Instead of
first on the
ended.
moon. I mean, that
Yeah.
whole space race, they were the first moon, and like,
Mm.
and then like imagine like the Cold War actually never ended,
Never ended. Yeah.
right?
It's a wild concept
Um,
if you really process it.
yeah, I like the show more than I thought I would
Mm-hmm.
have. It is quite character driven. Um,
Yeah.
with of course a constant eye to the bigger, you know, fallout of what happens if
Yeah.
Russia would have been the first on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going through this all through characters that, and like it's at season 4 now. So
Mm.
like you see these guys from like early on in
Dang,
the
I gotta
career
get hip. I'm not even on season
to the
4 right
point where
now.
like they're old and they have kids now, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Mm.
But like they do a time lapse kind of joint between
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the first female president is you know what I mean? Again,
Mm.
alternative history.
Mm-hmm.
The way how that would have changed things and all that kind of stuff. So like and also they do the thing where they're doing a thing where you get the perspective, because this is why I'm like, is this sci-fi? Because a lot of stuff that the way that they approach the space stuff
Mm-hmm.
is very practical. It's
Mm-hmm.
like what would be happening right now? What kind of technology? What kind of ways would they interact with the regolith on the moon? You know what I mean? If or in this case, they end up trying to go to Mars, and I no spoilers for people that haven't watched it or how that goes, but um, they follow the people that are in space, but they also follow back home on Earth, like the lives of the people, like
Yeah.
the
How their lives,
spouses, the
yeah, how their lives change
politicians,
and
NASA. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
How politics in and out of NASA,
Yep.
all those things on people on Earth. So like it's almost like 50-50. But now
Yeah.
you do another scene and like you're like, how is this person navigating freaking try territorial disputes on the moon? You know what I mean? Like, and like,
Very
there's only one
interesting.
spot with the shelter from the radiation because you need to do it in a cave. Like,
Yeah.
but like you get that whole storyline, and then like, man, it's a lot that you can. So that's why I'm like, it's not really that much. It's not a lot of There ain't no lasers. There ain't no lasers. All right, all that kind of stuff, all
Yeah,
kinds
people
of
think yeah.
alien life form. There ain't no aliens in this joint. All right,
Mm.
at least not yet. I ain't seen none yet. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
not
really
like to
good show, and I
expect.
think if people want a drama and a story to get into, that it's a really interesting take on some alternative history. I like to know, like, I like to think that down that kind of rabbit hole from time to time. Like,
Mhm.
man, what if? You know what I mean? What if
Mm.
Haiti was actually, never had to pay back reparations for their
Haiti,
own
Haiti, Haiti,
freedom
Haiti will be one of the richest countries in the world.
with all the resources
Well,
that's
natural
there?
resources, they will be one of the richest countries in the world. Absolutely,
That bit would
absolutely.
be that would be like the place to be.
Mhm.
It'd be the place to be. It's like when people talk about they want to go to when people talk about going to the Maldives and shit like that.
Yeah,
Be like, oh, I'm going to Haiti. Oh, I can't afford to
yeah,
go to Haiti, bro. I ain't got my
yeah. I ain't
bread
got
ain't
no.
right
Can
like that.
you imagine? That sounds crazy. Just even saying it, bro.
Uh,
The
I'm
current,
going.
the currency
All,
will
all we
probably,
all we
the
kept on
currency will
hearing
probably.
back in the '90s is like
Mhm,
going to Haiti, going to Cabo,
mhm.
and all those kinds of things. Imagine going to Haiti would have been like
Haiti, bro.
the
I think it.
spot.
I think it would actually be called. I think it would actually be like. I think people would be calling it IT. I think that would have been
They will be
because
calling it Haiti, not
yeah,
Haiti. I
yeah,
tell you that much.
because Haiti would have had control over the branding, so I think it would have been called IT.
Mhm.
Um,
That's one.
I think also the currency would have probably been worth more than the U.S. currency.
I don't know about all that.
It's still
Music, man. The music was it was heavy. It was music heavy weekend. Speaking of which, the first one up is a new album by SiR called Heavy. SiR is he's part of TDE, right? He's an R&B guy. Um, uh, it's more R&B soul, and this is the type of dude that it's weird to kind of see. I kind of get vibes of D'Angelo a little bit, but D'Angelo is more neo soul,
okay.
and but he is of that. I feel like he wouldn't have fallen far from that D'Angelo tree. Um, an interesting thing that I learned about him is that he's into anime,
Hmm.
and one of his favorite when he was asked in the interview, you know, name three of your favorite um characters from fiction, any kind of fiction. This could be books, movies, could be whatever. He goes to anime, and he said Krillin is one of his top three.
What really? I mean,
Krillin.
first of all, that's impressive that he actually
First
knows
of all,
about
again,
Krillin.
shout out to DBZ,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's impressive. But Krillin, bro.
but Krillin he's because of he's Krillin is actually like to his point to SiR's point
Mhm.
is
Sir,
that Krillin ain't got no powers.
he has powers. It's just he's just weak.
Krillin ain't got no power. Krillin
He's
ain't
just
no
weak.
Saiyan.
he yeah, but I mean
That boy
he
is
has
the
powers.
weakest. He got the
He is
weakest power.
weak
You
though.
look at your power level. I'm
He is
looking at his
weak though.
power
Yeah.
level right now through my glasses. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, bro, I can deadlift more than this guy. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Krillin's pretty. Yeah. He's pretty weak. Yeah.
But Krillin will put his life on the line for his friends.
Mhm.
And he will go toe to toe with the biggest baddie out there
Mhm.
and lose immediately,
Immediately.
immediately, but he will stand up for it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? He like the courage that he ends up having to like this dude ends up having to face against gods, and he gets, he gets killed all the time, and he has
Yeah.
to be revived and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
still, to have the courage to stand up to these gods that you're facing, and your friends are gods, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, and you can still talk to them like they're human, you know what I
Mhm.
mean. You say, you correct them when they're wrong, but you got their
Yeah.
back.
One thing that Krillin has is IQ though. He has really high.
Mhm.
He's probably one of the smartest. I mean, like because Goku has high battle IQ.
He
Vegeta
has high
has
battle,
yeah.
man.
Vegeta
But
has even
wait,
higher battle
but wait.
IQ.
That's what I was
But
gonna say. Because
yeah,
Goku be having to go through a lot of bullshit to figure that
yeah.
shit
To
out.
learn, like that's the thing. His method of acquiring data is
He gotta
bad.
go a lot. So he
Yeah,
ain't got. I wouldn't put him on the
yeah.
squad. No, for like,
As
if I'm
far as
looking for
battle
like a
IQ,
smart squad, like
yeah,
he's just gonna be your like big, but he's just gonna be your Shaq. You know what I mean? He's gonna be your
yeah,
Shaq on the
yeah,
court. Just put
yeah,
him out there to be your Shaq. But like in terms of just like being like Magic, nah,
Mhm.
son. He ain't gonna be
Yeah,
like Magic Johnson in terms of like seeing the whole space and
yeah.
all that
See,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Like,
Mm.
but he also has a song on the album called "Only Human." So
Mm.
I can see how you can, you know what I mean? He like, there's a certain point like you want to, you make mistakes. You're not the strongest at times. You know what I mean? You may
Yep.
be weak, even in like it's, people want to hold you to this high standard, this high caliber of and high expectations, and they want to put that on you.
Mhm.
And when you go down, it's like, people want to put their disappointment on you. So, but like, yo, I'm only human after
Mm.
all. And so, this, I found that kind of dope that you know, Krillin would be somebody like that's a deep cut. This time,
Yeah,
like
that's
I thought
interesting.
at least
That's
if
interesting.
he would have gone to Vegeta. I get it because Vegeta's
Mhm.
always trying to like be the best, even though he's not. He's always trying to look and try to go
Yeah,
for, or something. That boy went to Krillin with it. So
that is
but
wild.
Heavy was a dope album. I think this might
Mhm.
be, bro. I think this is his best album to date. Yo, his vocals are always great. And like he goes from like a place of like depending on the song, like he can like channel like a darkness or like almost like a little bit of a different voice, and like and the emotion that he's trying to convey through the lyrics of that particular song, like he will change up his voice style. For there's another song he ends up sounding like he's like he sounds like a robot on, like with the Alvin Chipmunk voice almost,
Okay.
like a robot version. Like, and that song goes. I can't remember exactly which track it was, but bro, it's a really good album. He's got some features on there. Dolla Sign, Isaiah Rashad. Oh, and that Anderson .Paak track, Poetry in Motion. Mm, whoever titled that track, that 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 is poetry
Mm.
in rhythm, in motion, and Anderson .Paak delivers with the bars, and then of course the drums and the snares do what that
Yeah.
Anderson .Paak do. Uh, it's great. The whole album goes from like romantic themes
I
to,
got Anderson Park is dope, man. Anderson Pack is
yeah,
dope, man.
anything he's on, you're gonna want to listen to.
Yeah.
The level of versatility, um,
Man's a musician, man. He's a musician, but he's an
yeah,
artist. He just
it's
got it,
it's
bro.
it's amazing. So
Mm-mm.
I definitely recommend checking out SiR. Again, when you see certain features like Absol, you know what I mean, Anderson .Paak,
Yeah, cause I'm
which,
looking at his features. That mean
yeah,
he's legit. The
I'm
kind of
thinking,
features that he got,
I
he's
see those
legit,
things.
bro.
I see those things as cosigns.
Cosigns, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. That's how you can tell
So
if somebody is popping for real. If they got like if they really got something, you see the features, like okay, yeah, this guy might be
yeah.
worth paying attention to.
The thing also in terms of versatility is like this, the song selections go from things like sentimental love, you know what I mean, heartbreak kind of thing, all the way to like almost like street stuff, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, so he goes, and then like bigger picture stuff. Life is Good, for example, is one of those tracks on there. So I would say check out the whole album. I got a lot of thumbs up. Did I like? Oh, there's two songs that I didn't hit the like button on. But you might think differently, so I'm not even gonna say what songs those were. But like, it's because I didn't hit the like button, don't mean I don't like them. It just, they didn't hit for me just as much as the other ones, but it's a really great album. I
Mhm.
definitely recommend checking out SiR. The album is called Heavy. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. Next one up, Gary Clark Jr., JPEG Raw. Yo, this is his 4th studio album. This is gonna. It might be one of. This might be nominated. This might be nominated, bro. This.
I feel like
Okay,
you're throwing
okay.
that term around a little bit.
I can't see. Yo, I can't see how. Okay, if what's that thing? What's Jean Baptiste's last album was called? American Symphony? Was it American Symphony? Or was that the documentary?
Yeah, John
That last
Baptiste.
Jean Baptiste album that was nominated.
Yeah.
I I don't see how this isn't. It's on par. It's at least on par. It's minimum at least on par. The only thing that would be against um Gary Clark in this instance is that blues ain't been getting the respect. It's blues music, but it's rock blues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blues don't be getting the respect that like it used to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so to be up for album of the year, and we're not even talking about genre specific. We're talking about album of the year
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. It's a blues heavy album. Um, but Gary Clark Jr. has like he's grown so much in his music making that he does infuse other kind of flavors. So it's a new blues, man. I would call this neo blues.
The John
He's
Baptiste
got
album. The John Baptiste album is World Music Radio.
World Music Radio. That's what it is.
Yep.
American Symphony was the name of the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's soul. He incorporates soul into this album, JPEG Raw.
Mm-hmm.
He incorporates R&B into it. We talked about features before. We got George Clinton on here. Famed guitar, great guitar. You got Stevie Wonder is on one of these tracks here.
That's
What is
fire.
the children? What is it called? Yeah, what about the children? Great,
Mm-hmm.
great track.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so these are features again that they pretty much sound like cosigns to me. And in every Gary Clark Jr. album is going to be great. It's going to be, and it's kind of niche, so
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
something different to listen to. But like if country can make a comeback, Gary Clark can blues can make a comeback riding off the back of Gary Clark Jr. and likes
Absolutely.
of him and the likes of Jean Baptiste. They're not the
Mm-hmm.
only ones,
Mm-hmm.
So definitely check that album out. Put it on. You're gonna be hearing about this album. He's gonna definitely make some noise with this joint, and I'm excited to see what kind of numbers it does and what kind of like exposure it gets. Um, that this may be, bro. It's gonna be. This may be one of the best albums you hear this year.
That's saying a
Nobody's
lot.
gonna regret. Nobody's gonna regret.
Saying a lot.
If you're a music fan,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna regret. Nobody's gonna thumbs down this album. It's like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
this was a good album. Minimum, you say it's a good album. It's a great
Yeah.
album, well put together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, infusion of jazz, hip hop, some rock roll, some African beat, and African soul, like a little bits and pieces in there, like melted together like perfectly. He's a music songwriter kind of type of person. These people, these music songwriters, these producing type singers and produce man, nothing's off limits. So it's I I think
It feels like they're starting to get like real recognition now. Like
yeah,
real artists are finally like
getting their
real
space.
singers. They're finally getting that recognition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Instead of
I think
like,
there was a desert at one point. It was a desert sometime between
mm,
between 2002,
Mm-hmm.
2013, maybe
Mm-hmm.
something like that. It was like stuff was like there might have been a couple artists that might have been still doing their thing, and like some new artists, but like not a lot, not a lot. You know what I mean? Like I remember like falling in love with Alicia Keys because it felt like something finally different.
Something, yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Mm.
first album was, and then after that, I feel like, oh, you kind of, you know what I
She
mean?
got super commercial and it was
You
all
got
just
super
like
commercial kind of thing, and like so R&B for
very
me was
basic level
dead.
kind of thing. Yeah.
R&B for me was
Mm.
dead. I mean, it was really just trying to like live off of the last of whatever
Yeah,
freaking yeah. I mean,
that's
these
actually a
freaking
good
what they
point.
call thong songs and all this stuff
Yeah, yeah.
that was kind of that time, and it was hard to like get some classic kind of R&B, and like it don't have to be old R&B. Give me some new stuff, but give me the freaking true essence of the thing.
Yeah, like the feel of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what SZA was able to accomplish a lot in her album.
yeah.
That it kind of gave you that.
It all
It
went
gave you
pop.
that.
A lot of R&B just all went pop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of gave you that, like that kind of, and also it might not be totally fair because of like, especially if you're, and I keep saying this to everybody, man. The '90s era was the best era for black music, in particular. Like black music specifically. I feel like it was the well, black entertainment in general. I'm talking about movies, music, all kinds of stuff, right? Entertainment, all that stuff, talk shows, whatever. Um, but I think but you had like a healthy R&B, a
Yeah,
healthy
they
a
had their
healthy
lane. They
R&B
have their R&B
lane,
lane.
yeah.
Like,
And I think you have artists like SZA that are really kind of bringing that flair back. You feel me? Like that hey, R&B is a thing that was actually like substantial. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
I think Chris Brown was kind of trying to do that initially until he started to get into like a heavy pop space
Every
for a
pop
while,
space
and then he will like
was dance.
he'll like kind of yeah he'll kind of like dabble into a little bit, but because dance is so huge and a part of his brand, he kind of has to kind of be more pop heavy, and even some of his songs that he probably would like to be R&B, right? So I think you're right. I think there was a desert, and it was just kind of hard to like really like get back into that R&B space because it just seemed like the demand is just more
Was for this
heavily
other thing.
for these other things now. Yeah, this other thing that
Yeah.
I mean, we call it pop, but it might be a combination of so
But you
many
still
different.
had your Jill Scotts out there just like trugging along.
Yeah, India
You know
Irie.
what
I
I
mean, you
mean?
still had the Music Soul Child still was doing this thing. I mean, you still had quite a few
D'Angelo
artists that
kind of
was
rebranded
Angela.
and was starting doing stuff with
Yeah,
I think was it Robert Glasper? And I mean that was freaking amazing album right there. I
Frank
think
Ocean. I mean, yeah.
okay. So Tyla. That's the
Mhm.
next album. Tyla is from Joburg, man, and
Okay.
everybody knows her now. And probably before people, if you're from the continent, you probably been to Tyla because
Yeah,
she is what you would call okay. So like, I'm a piano is a style of song and
my piano.
dance. My piano.
Bro, you said
What did I
I'm a
say?
piano. That sounds
I'm
crazy.
a piano. I'm pretty.
Yeah, I was like, what? My piano.
I think you just heard it funny. That's not what
No, bro.
I'm a piano.
What?
I know how it's spelled, so I wouldn't say I'm a piano.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll show you the footage later.
All right.
But go
Well,
ahead.
check in the post. But either way, she's kind of considered the queen of that over there, and she's
Hmm.
really like helped spread the word globally for this kind of like deep house funk
She's
mix.
al- she's
Bro, I
also
think it's
marketable. She's also marketable.
bro, I think I'm just calling it African house music. It's a
Is that what
lot.
you're
It's a
gonna
mix
call
of
it?
there's Zulu in there and everything mixed up in there and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty much this is African house music. That's how they
there,
do house music over there.
there is diversity in a Mapiano, bro. Just like there's diversity like in hip hop where like the beats don't sound the same in a different specific,
Okay,
and it's still hip hop. It's the same
but
thing in
the big
Mapiano.
umbrella trying to relate to how would a house
Hmm.
track sound if this was on if my piano I'm a piano music was on a playlist with American house music
Yeah.
with like some Chicago house. All right, I wouldn't say
Okay.
Miami house. Miami house music is weird.
Hmm.
House people don't even like recognize Miami
Yeah.
house music as
Right.
house
That's
music.
house
But
music. Yeah,
okay,
that's facts.
but it would flow. It would go. It would go in the same
Okay.
playlist. Like you put Tyla on the house music playlist. You know what I mean? Like you somewhere in Cali, you playing that
Okay.
joint. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it'll flow right into it, and then like you go into the next track, and nobody would have been any of the wiser. Um, well, I'm a piano. It's quite it's true to its origin. She's true
Hmm.
to her origin. She ain't trying to like be specific to the like just the lyrics of it all. Isn't it trying to she's not trying to Americanize shit. She's not trying to like anglify it like the British or something like that.
Hmm.
It's true to like their culture, the
I like
themes and
that.
everything like that,
I like
and
that.
how they interact in relationships and things like that
Hmm.
in 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 South Africa. And she's she's part Zulu, and yeah, she's quite she's what you okay, she's colored, right? And over there they
Hmm.
call colored people is mixed. This is the term that they use over there.
Yeah.
She's mixed. So she is very quite marketable, like you said, and
Yeah.
again, she's got the album cover where she's like selling sexy,
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh so if you're not paying attention, you might think, oh, this is somebody who could just like kind of skate by and just like, okay, just another
Yeah.
cookie cutter kind of artist. But no, she is genre bending, and
Mm.
she is a pioneer for the space. And it maybe not first, but in terms of going
Yeah.
global
Yeah.
with
Cause
it,
yeah, yeah. As far as
in terms
global,
of going
yes. Yeah.
global with it, like she's
Yeah.
part of this,
I
like
mean, she was on the what was it? Was that the David Letterman show or what show was that she was on?
I'm
Jimmy
not sure
Fallon?
what you, but it
I
was,
think it was Jimmy Fallon or something like that. And
it
she
could
actually
be.
performed. She actually performed there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make that
Yeah,
song, make
her
me
water. Yeah,
sweat,
water. She
make
yeah
me water. That,
yeah
yeah, that's her.
yeah. The fact that she
And
was on the Jimmy Fallon show, she's making
mhm.
waves, obviously, in the
Yeah,
American
she's yeah,
music
but like,
marketplace.
but like, just like I was saying before, like, yo, compa could go international too if freaking,
Oh,
what
absolutely,
I mean, all kinds of Afro beats. And
absolutely.
my piano is like is going global and
Hmm.
international. Why couldn't something like compa do it? But again, there's a history that
Yeah.
Citibank hasn't reckoned for yet. This is
Hmm.
why we're in the state that we are now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Tyler's album is really it's a self-titled album.
Hmm.
It's only 38 minutes. I would rather
Okay.
be something like 45 minute. If it was a 45-minute album, I'll get a little bit more. There's a lot of songs that are like under the 3 minute mark.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'd
noticed
really
that.
enjoy an album that has a couple songs that's over 4 minutes. Like that lets you know that they put a
Do
lot
you
of energy into the production.
do you feel like it's more of do you feel like it's more of one of those albums that's just like I mean you did mention that it's more like you know native to her obviously her culture where she's
It's
from
her,
like
but it's her
but do you
first.
think
It's her
you
first
think
album.
yeah it's her first album yeah but it's also but I was also gonna say like so basically it gives you like more like an EP vibe not actually like an album for real
I
because that's what
mean,
because based on the because I'm looking at the time of the tracks too it gives me like an EP vibe it doesn't give me like an album like a okay this is an official album.
there's if you're not looking for it, right? I think there's a time I was looking for the album,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept on getting EP hits
Yeah. Mm.
for it. I'm like a 2020. So this 2023 EP had five tracks on it.
Mm.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a 2023 EP which had Truth or Dare Butterflies, on and on. Yeah, like these are all the same tracks that are on the album. The album of course has a lot more. It has a total of damn, how many tracks was that in that joint? Yeah, as 14 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So, it wasn't a lot of expansion, but like it's your first album. This is a great effort for first try. Straight up.
Okay.
Straight up.
Okay.
You know. It's
Was
it's
it
it's
more like
gonna
a
be a
was it more
lot. It's
like
gonna
a
do numbers. It's gonna definitely do numbers. It's a lot
I
of
mean,
fun.
I'm seeing the plays. It definitely gonna do
Yeah.
numbers. I'm seeing the plays. Is it more of like a? Yeah, I was gonna say, is it like a fun album? Like, does it
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
it's a real fun
like a fun
album.
album? Okay, that's what it.
But
That's
she
kind
does
of
she does take there's a lot of vocals also on there. So she's singing and stuff. And so it's not just you relying heavily just on the production and the
okay.
beat. She's doing a lot of singing. There's some songs where the production is really toned down to allow her to like play around with the vocals a little bit, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
um she's good. It's a great first effort. I don't know how in terms of award winning this album will be.
Mm.
I don't think so. But I wouldn't be surprised if it won like in the what do you call it? The Bricks? What's the British awards? I forgot the Brits awards was called. I could see it being nominated there, and I could see it winning some local categories and stuff like that. But
I mean,
uh
she's going crazy in Africa for sure.
yeah,
And
it could
obviously
be
like in the
it
UK.
could be maybe there's I know there's the category for international
Yeah.
in the Grammys there's the international
Mm,
so maybe something like it could
okay.
work somewhere there.
All right.
But either way, it's worth listening to. I'll
Mm,
tell you that much.
mm,
If it's on the vibes, if it's on Challenge Day, go check it out. So
absolutely.
you got Tyla, you know, Heavy. Matter of fact, I did a playlist of Tyla and Heavy, and I shuffled it.
Mm,
Match made in heaven for you just freaking rock out. Cause I'm like, hey, that album is kind of short. Heavy is 50 minutes. Tyler's 38 minutes. You add them together, boom, you get about an hour and 20 worth of good music, good
okay.
listen to, good vibes.